Live,
Now,
live, live, live.
what's up, Tal? How are
Hello,
you?
hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? How is everyone? We have a special live today. We're going to talk a little bit about Twitter. We're going to have fun. We're going to show you how to automate it specific platform that can work really well for the US. A little bit out of from Instagram. We did also Pinterest, but now we're working also on Twitter. I'm not sure if you're following the last trends, but NFT, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, and actually everything that happens at the US is on Twitter. So this is we're going to talk about Twitter solo. So we really hope that you are excited. While I'm talking, we're also sharing everything in the groups. So please keep with us a couple of more minutes. And we hope that you're really excited because again, it's going to be really fun. Twitter automation is actually really easy. They don't make it a hard life to do so. Uh, if we are talking about Instagram, like again, if I will put it like that, Instagram is the hardest, and then you have Facebook, and then I think it's LinkedIn, although it's also really easy. And then you have a couple of things, and then you have Twitter. So if you're looking to do automation to do it like easily, you can go to Twitter, and then go to LinkedIn, and then go to the other stuff that we are having here. But Twitter is probably one of, I will not tell it is, there were always risks. Again, it's very important to say it at the beginning of the live. There are always risks. You're risking your own Twitter account if you're using it, but if you're putting it on the scale, I can say it for the easiest. But again, you need to be aware for the risks. You need to be aware that Twitter doesn't like it, and you need to be aware that it's also fun to do that. So this is on the opposite side. So again, couple of more seconds. We are still sharing everything in the group, so please say hello if you're here. Twitter is going to be fun, and again, most of the interesting niches that are like, if you're talking about the election, for example, where was Trump against Biden, everything was on Twitter. If we are talking about NFT, everything is on Twitter. If you're talking about Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency, it's on Twitter. If you're talking about presidents and cities and everything in the US, it's Twitter. People love to tweet. People love to share tweets. We are usual from Europe and Israel specifically to Instagram and Facebook, but by the way, I'm not sure if you're aware of it, but while Israel and Europe is using WhatsApp, US is using iPhone MMS, and on Russia they're actually using at the same time they're actually using in Russia. I'm not sure if they're still again just like had my just thought from it. What's the name of the platform?
Which
What's the name of the
platform you mean?
platform in Russia? Like WhatsApp.
Um, I will check.
Uh,
I will tell you exactly. I
wait,
forgot also.
I will tell you. I will tell you.
Okay,
Uh,
I think
uh,
you can check. And guys, I think we can start in like 1 minute. That's going to show you the name of the platform. As you mentioned, with the background, it's going to be alive, like it's going to be very, very. Lina, someone right over here. Lina, Charles, write it. Yeah? Lina platform?
no, no, no,
No,
no,
no.
no. It's actually it's so old school that I forgot. It's ICQ, huh? If you remember.
I remember, Tonic also remember that ICQ. Yes, it's he used to open also a group in that, so that's cool.
when like to share a small story from my childhood. So when I'm not sure it was between 6 and 8 age, I was reading like in how to hack computers. I was 6 to 8, so give me your forgiveness if it's not right, and it's not very legal. I sent someone like, I hacked to someone like ICQ and I got his like 6-number ICQ. I'm not sure if you remember, but like most of us got between 8 and 9 numbers for ICQ, and if someone had 6 numbers, like it was like a celeb. So I had the 6 numbers ICQ. It was 333 464, and this is it. This was my ICQ number. I tried to get it back actually when I knew that in Russia it's still live, but I couldn't get it back. So this is my price for what I was doing when I was 6 to 8.
Interesting to know what you did when you were so young. So I think like you're born like that, like a growth hacker. Interesting.
No,
Thank you for
back
it.
then it wasn't a growth hacker, it was a hacker. It's
Hacker,
important to put
just
like
like
the
that.
emphasis. Growth hacking is not hacking, it's legal and it's okay. Hacking, it's not legal. You can't do it, and we will not advise to do it in any way. Growth hacking is doing in legal ways to grow company and make more sales to a company or to yourself with the least money needed. This is growth hacking. If you want, you can go also to Wikipedia.
Cool. Okay, cool. So thank you very much. I think we can start with the live. So yes, today we're going to show you exactly how you can grow Twitter accounts. We're going to focus today about the NFT because this is what everyone's speaking about. But as Tal mentioned, these strategies and these techniques are relevant to any account and to any business that the audience is actually spending time on Twitter. Just to show you some of the results you can actually gain. So I'm going to share the screen in a second, so we know it's actually worth it to be here. So yes, basically, for example, what you can see on this photo, it's the daily amount of action we're doing in about 240, 250 follow and 200, also 250 sometimes unfollow. A contact message, it can even go to 20 a day. And the growth, as you can see over here, it can be 16 a day, 20 a day, 30 a day, 40 a day, and after optimization, it can even get to 40, 17 and more. Yes, so let's start with the fun part. Hello to everyone. Any questions you have, so please comment below and we're going to answer about everything. Yes, so as you know, you need Jarvis for that. So today we're going to do a demonstration on Jarvis. You can install Jarvis on your own PC if you have a Windows system and if you can run it 24/7 or to use a VPS. We have another videos about the VPS, so we're not going to cover it now. How to install Jarvis, just go to jarvis.com and download it. As for Twitter, it's only one profile, so it's going to be $30 a month.
And you have a free week on Jarvis and a free 24 hours on the proxy, so you can test everything for free.
That's true. Yes. We also show you the links for that for the Jarvis. And of course, you need a 4G proxy. Now, a lot of people asking that on the Jarvis community, actually, if a 4G proxy, it's a must or not. So honestly, let's speak about it for a sec. You can say you can work with many different types of proxies, residential and data center, but when it comes to social media platforms, you want to look as much as human as you can. So today, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, even Pinterest and YouTube, as you can see, if you have a connection with another IP that it's not human, like human using the 4G, soon the 5G, and it's like a risk to get more issues. So if you're asking us, always go with the 4G, the social proxy, this is what, yeah?
And specifically, if you are connecting your own account, you can do tests on dummy accounts, but don't do tests on your own account because the price may be high.
That's true. I agree. So yes, we're going also to share with you the link to the social proxy and the 24 hours testing. You can try that. And by the way, if the people who are watching us now, just a small note, if you have a proxy that you're using for Instagram, and let's say you have 10 accounts on the Instagram account, on the proxy, you can also add about 10 Twitter accounts. So you can even split the cost and use the same proxy for different platforms. Right, Al?
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
You can, as long as it's not the same owner. For example, WhatsApp, Facebook, and Instagram, it's the same owner, so you can use one proxy per 10 account using Jarvis. There are some software they can even put more. But if you're talking about other owners, you can't, like, because they don't share the data between each other. For example, you can put on the same proxy 10 LinkedIns, 10 Instagrams, 10 YouTubes, and 10 Twitters, the same one.
Exactly. So that's making even the costs very, very, very not pricey at all. What you need to do to connect your Twitter account to Jarvis software, it's basically to go to the social profile and to click on Add Profile. Then you can click on the Twitter over here. And then basically what you will see, it's a screen like that. So you need to add a proxy over here. This is the IP and port, username, password. You can get it from the social proxy. And after that, your username on Twitter and your password. And basically then you can click on verify. I already verified it. So you can do it also by yourself, but very simple. You will have the verify button over here. And then you will see your account, it's on valid status. So it's actually connected. Cool. Now we can also start with the actions themselves and how can you grow the profile itself. And so if you go to the tools section, you will see all the different type of things you can do over here. And if you click on Twitter NFT, you can see the different actions you can do. Follow, follow back, unfollow, favorite, retweet or reply, contact, mention, delete, post, and full browser experience. Today we're going to speak about the follow, unfollow, retweet, and contact. And I think this is the most important thing. So let's start with the actions themselves. So on the settings part, this is too fast. By the way, wait, let me stop for a second. Maybe I'm doing it too fast.
I
Right?
don't think so. I think it's on the right pace.
Right pace? Okay. Guys, if
Yeah,
it's too fast, let me know.
and again, everyone is here, I hope, was already on Instagram and Pinterest, and they already know a little bit of what we show them.
Cool. Okay. So have a look basically over here on the settings part. You have the run timers. I recommend to wait between 30 to 50 minutes before each new operation. On each new operation, I'm going to follow 5 to 20 people, and I'm going to have a delay of 30 to 100 seconds between each follow actions. Over here, you can see I'm working on the daytime. I prefer to do it on Twitter between 8 a.m. to 2 a.m. It's based on my time zone of the VPS. Okay, so if you're located on United States and your clients are from France, so we can change that based on like where is your client based. It's not a must, just I like to do it like this. And I also randomize the start time with 30 minutes. So that means I will start up to 30 minutes maximum and finish on different hours. So we can see today 8:25 until 2:18 and tomorrow 8:12 until 1:50. It's just going to help with the randomization part. I'm also going to do some random sleep time. So I just cut the work randomly between a 5 to 9 operation. I'm going to stop my action for 16 to 32 minutes. I'm going to work 24/7, like not like every day on the week. Of course, you can also play with that. And I'm going to start pretty slow, 20 to 35 actions a day. I'm going to increase it every day with 30 to 50 actions until I reach 250 action maximum a day. Now, this is a small note. If you have account that you're very scary about, you feel you're like pretty new with automation, you can even go lower amount of action and don't go with over 100 if you want to be extra safe. I can tell you, as you saw even with the screenshot we made, we do
And
up
again,
to 250.
250 actions, it's a lot of actions per day. When you're making every action count, it's like like you can do like 250 actions and just like follow like dummy accounts, but you can also do it like on people that are in the niche of NFT, for example, this account on the NFT niche, and then like you will have a lot of followers, and it depends a lot on the niche that you're doing it, and it depends a lot about how many actions you're doing. But if you're doing 250 actions per day and you're doing it right, you will get a lot of followers.
That's true. That's true. Yes, so basically this is on the follow tool on the run timers settings, sorry. Now we'll go to the filters. Now over here, basically I want, of course, as Tal mentioned, to go to the most relevant people. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure I'm going to interact only with people with English characters. Of course, if you have audience in different language, so do not check that. Also want to make sure the user has a profile image. I can make sure the user has minimum number of like 20 tweets and even minimum number of followers and following. Now, as for the start, I'm not really doing that. I don't want to filter that much, but you can always play with this amount of filters. I do want to make sure that the users I'm going to follow are actually active people that tweeted or liked within the last 30 days. And I want to make sure they are not one of my followers. So I'm not going to follow people who are already follow me. Of course, you can also make sure that you're following only males, females, both, depends and on different language. Don't forget if you want to target, for example, people on specific language. So Java cannot know what is French, what is German, what is Hebrew, what is Arabic. So you need to go under the settings tab. You need to scroll all the way down. And over here, you actually can set up the name. So for example, let's say I want people from France. I can click on French and I can add male and female names. This is one of the bonus we're going to share with you. Do not worry, you don't need to do it by yourself. We prepared everything in German also, even in Swedish, in many languages. So we share the list with you. Let's go back to the settings. So this is about the filters. And also what I like to do is to follow random people after.
On the filters, like you can choose yourself what to do. You can also set, for example, if you're looking again on the niche of Bitcoin, for example, and you're B2B, you can say that I want in the bio to have, or the name, the word Bitcoin, or the word crypto, or the word photos, or any other word that you want. You can set it really specific and get the exact audience that you like.
Exactly. You can just play with it and test it out to see, of course, depends on the source you're going to add. We're going to speak about the source in a second. Let's say for now, I'm going to target everyone. Also, I'm going to different people randomly from the extracted users list. And after the follow, I like to add like post after the follow. So for example, we can like between 1 to 1 post after the follow and like 50 to 70%. Why don't do this for everyone? Just because I don't want to look too robotic and automatically. I just want to look a bit human. You can, by the way, add a message after the follow tool, but I'm going to do this a bit differently, just to let you know. As for the follow source, so you have a few different options. You can follow people by keyword. You can follow people that following another accounts, follow followers of your own followers.
On keywords, for example, it will just go to the search and then type Bitcoin and then start to follow people. If you're talking about follow targeted accounts, you will just go to the other account and start copying their followers.
Exactly. What you just need to do is to put the URL that you want and with the slash of the followers. Okay, so make sure you check like the links like that. Okay, for example, let's say I want to promote this account with NFT people. So I'm going to the NFT account and I'm going to do slash followers. I'm not sure why it's not connecting. In a second, I will check that. Maybe I have some issues with my connection. What do you think, Tal?
This is actually a good question.
Let's have a look. Yes, my bad. Sorry.
On my side, I have connection.
You're right. I didn't copy the proxies. Good. Sorry. Cool. So wait, let's go back. Just to show you how it looks like. So under the follow sources, I click on that. I open this and you can see this is the NFT slash followers. In a second, it will sync and then you can see that just like this. Okay, we'll check it in a second. So this is basically how it's going to work. What I add over here, relevant and active account on the NFT niche. Okay, so you can also do this by yourself and just search for relevant accounts. I want to show you what you can actually do. So you can go to Twitter, and basically you can just look for keywords that you want, NFT, and then you can click on relevant accounts, the top over here. Here we are. And also, like, you can even get some hashtags from here.
Hey, live.
You can even, as you can see, Twitter even showing you how many tweets you had on the last hour. Okay, so for example, you can see hashtag NFT on the last hour. We have more than 8,000 tweets over here. Sorry, so I can even do this as well, and I can go over here and put keywords, and it will actually go with that, with the NFT. Also, specific people, I can also use it from here. Followers of specific accounts, people who retweet specific posts, even a custom URL if you want. So feel free to do that. I would go mostly with a keyword, 1 or 2. Let's see, NFT games, and with the followers of other accounts. And let's fix it for a second. I think I have some issues with the connection. So 1 second, I'll remove that. Any questions until now?
This is good.
Makes sense. It's very simple, right, Tal?
Yeah, this is why I actually love Twitter, because it's simple and it's easy to scale up. And also, it's very hard to get followers on Twitter, actually, if you're not doing automation.
That's true. Yes, you need to like to play the game, and like especially now with like niches like NFT, crypto, metaverse, what else? A hemp, CBD, cannabis, sort of these kind of things. You cannot grow them if you don't use these kind of techniques. So this is what I think is very, very relevant. And here I fixed that. That was my bad. Sorry. So have a look. This is, for example, Coinbase followers. What job we're going to do? It's actually to extract these usernames, and then I'm going to follow these people. Now what I need to do to make sure it's working, I just go to the settings tab and scroll up and run it like that. Cool.
Wow, it was really complex. How did you do that in 12 minutes?
Don't know. Let's go with the unfollow, by the way. Follow back, I'm not really using that. I don't believe to follow back people. But the unfollow, it's really simple. I'm going to unfollow people after 1 to 2 days. If you feel uncomfortable, you can even change it to 2 to 3 days or 1.5, depends on you. But I think 1 to 2 is cool. I'm going to wait 15 to 34 minutes before each new operation. Each operation I will follow 1 to 14 people with a delay of 15 to 100 seconds. The unfollow I'm running 24/7, as you can see, 8 to 8, 12 to 12, no matter what. And I'm going to cut the activity after 5 to 15 operation and wait between 20 to 32 minutes, unfollow 20 to 30 a day, increase to 60 a day until I reach 250. You can even filter the people that you don't want to unfollow, use whitelist and so on. Honestly, I'm just unfollowing everyone, and this is actually not really important. The good things on Twitter automation, we'll speak about the risk in a few minutes. Almost no risk. Like, it's not really happening, of course, there are risk, but you don't care that much as Instagram, Facebook does. So this is cool. And also I turned this on.
It's more than that. Twitter is actually giving people like their data in an API call. So all you need to do is just request for them for a data. They just like believe in another way of like making the platform. Like if Instagram, Facebook, and so on is believing like everything to put like in one basket and not give everyone any data. This is the opposite with Twitter. They're not they're yes, they are not allowing automation. It's like against the terms of service of Twitter, but they do allow, for example, you can ask them how many times there was a mention of blah, blah, blah. Did my brand mention on Twitter? And they will just give you it for free in an API call. So they just believe like in another way of getting like giving people data and how they show it and how you request it.
Exactly. That's actually pure like gold, what you just mentioned now. So thank you for that. And also, I don't know if you know, but the CEO of Twitter just left, I think a few weeks ago or a week ago, and he switched, he moved to his crypto, we can say, like crypto, like his new project with this kind of stuff. So interesting what's going to be. Look at the connection, everything is connecting at the end. Yes, so let's continue with the other two tools, and then we're going to give you just small last tips. And to finish, cool, so I'm going back. Yes, the favorite, I'm not really using this tool because I'm actually after the follow, I'm doing the like. As for the retweet, this is actually very, very, very cool tool. It's relevant for a lot of people who want to build their accounts from scratch, from zero to hero, and want to use viral content. So what you can do over here is similar to Instagram and the reposting. You can retweet about 2 times a day. You can even do it more, and you can make sure in which hours you want to do this, or just randomly do this, like I did over here. And you can skip tweets with hashtags, that tweets will mention other people, or you can keep it, depends on you. You can use real-time results, you can filter it more, skip your own tweets, and basically you can even retweet tweets from the last, let's say, 48 hours. So that means the last 2 days, even it's writing me over here. And let's say I want to retweet only viral content. So what I can do over here, I can make sure I'm going to pick tweets that have 500 to 2,000 tweets, and they have a bit between 1,000 to 5,000 favorites, likes. Okay, and I can also limit the maximum number of retweets per user to 1. So let's say I'm not going to retweet hundreds of tweets from the same user. You can also add a comment, not really using that, not my thing. As for the source, what I like to do is what I just show you now. You can go to Twitter and basically you can search for some keywords, and then Twitter, as Tal mentioned, they are very, very nice people. So you can see, even if you click on NFT, it gives you more keywords and you can see what is the amount of traffic. Okay, so I can just go to this word. I can check if this is what I want to actually, if I like this kind of tweets, then I can copy that, go back to Java, put it over here. And as you can see, you don't have to put the retweet comment. This is optional. I can just keep it like that. And you can also retweet from specific accounts. Okay, you can retweet from Twitter lists. You can play with that, and you can just do it like that. And don't forget to turn it on so it will work. Last tool I'm going to show you, and we're going to finish, guys. It's the contact. Okay, so this is very similar to Instagram. On Twitter, you can send messages to anyone you want. I mostly like to send message to new followers because I believe it's hot. It's like a warmer audience and not that cold audience. So the chance of the conversion will be higher if it's from my own account. Of course, you can also just extract users and send DMs to anyone you want. That's also an option. From this account,
I want to add more than that. It can be like a
Yes.
great way to sell. Like if someone is following your account, which is from the niche of NFT because you target him, and then he starts to follow you because you're also an NFT account, you would like to get a message where he can buy something about NFT, for example. And by the way, we have another question here. Let's see. So do you think it's a bit risky to automate retweets because you don't know the content? So it will be a right answer for every platform. So yes, because there are not any human eyes looking for it, there is a risk about it. For example, when I was reposting on Facebook, on Instagram, I also published like on someone like dog that was passing away, a dog account was passed away, and then I automatically reposted it. So yes, it can happen, but you need to make it like more complex. You can retweet only things, for example, on NFT, which have a lot of retweets. So we'll know that it's more safe because people will not retweet something which is not a good content. So you need and the filters to put the right filters, not to retweet the wrong content. And you can also blacklist like bad words if you like.
Exactly. I totally agree. And this is actually what you just mentioned now. Tal, it's like it's very important. Now we're just doing like a cover of the settings, but of course, like it's very important before you go into the practical part, just to do a research and to see exactly what you want to retweet, what you don't want to retweet. As Tal mentioned, you can make sure to blacklist some keywords and to make sure they like more filters over here, blacklist users and so on. I honestly think that if you will do the research and you will make sure that you want to reach with specific keyword or specific account, you mostly trust their traffic. So I think you're going to be on the safe side, but of course, make sure you're doing it correctly. There is another option. I don't want to make it too complicated to do some kind of like scraping for that and then go to kind of like draft, but let's keep it like this for now. Last one I'm going to show you, it's the contact. So for example, I use the send message to new followers. As you can see, I just write over here a message. Hey, are you into the NFT world? If the answer is yes, it's awesome. Just want to say that I'm also a big fan of this world and just found a huge community for NFT lovers. Here is the link, okay? Of course, you can make any type of message you want and you can put a link. And by the way, what you can also do, you can write a spin text, so you can write different type of messages. For example, this is one message I can go with, this one. And if I don't want this one, I can actually do spin text to another message. Hey there, XXXX, and I can do another message just like that, and we can do. So you get the point. This is how I'm going to close the spin text with this option, and have a look. Here's around the results. So one time to send the message hey there XXX, another time to send the message the first one. You can also add photos or videos. That's also an option. And then what it's actually going to do, if I click on extract now, it's going to put it under the send message tab. Okay, over here I'm going to wait 5 to 20 minutes before each new operation. I'm going to start slowly with 3 to 5 DMs a day, increase 1 to 3 messages a day until I reach 20 a day. You can do even more than that, by the way, but this is very, very, very safe settings. You can go even to 30 and even more. I want to be on the safe side. And of course, you can also set up the hours you want to send the messages. So for example, I can make sure I send between 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. every day. That's also an option. And just to run this tool, as you can see over here, by the way, on the top jar, it's showing me the actions. It's actually following people now. And so this is pretty cool. You're going to see this under the result tab on the follow. And I think this is it with the practically part. What do you think, Tal?
I think it's more than enough to start automate
Any
Twitter.
questions, Guy?
Twitter is actually one of the fun platforms, I think.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
you know, it's very fun. It's very easy. You don't have restrictions like you have on Instagram. As you mentioned with their APIs, they're like sharing is caring. You can build multiple accounts with the method we just show you about the content. You can grow clients' accounts and you can build accounts, sell the accounts. You know, some people does it. So you can do a lot of stuff. It just depends on what is the strategy you want to go with. And if you are growth hackers, you can use it for your clients. If you have business of the NFT, you can use these techniques for your NFT business. And you can build hundreds and hundreds of accounts like that. And that's it. Questions?
By the way, to me, again, Twitter, it's extremely important if you're like working with the US, and it's always important to understand like the niches that you are working with and give them and talk to them on the place they are looking for you.
Yes, exactly. You can make like research about what is the amount of people using Twitter and so on. I just posted it today. Many millions, about 360 million, something like that.
So to this question, mother and child is not always a good solution for every platform, but with Twitter, I think it was the first platform that I heard people are doing mother and child because it's so worth it. I'm not sure about like growing with follow and follow, but with the retweeting, it could be really, 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 it could be really beneficial. And again, it shouldn't be very hard if you're doing it correctly, in opposite of other platforms. I know that a lot of people, I'm not doing it myself, I don't have a mother and child, I'm not doing mother and child on Twitter, but I know that most of the people that are doing growth hacking in their main audience in the US do mother and child on Twitter. The main focus is on retweeting the main content from the first account.
I agree. Yes, and it's also all depends, Elton, in like what is your ROI going to be with this? What is your strategy? Is it long term? Is it short term? And because you do have some like expenses over here, and we do need to learn how to do that. So you need to build like a strong strategy to make sure it's worth it. But honestly, yes, I think it's mostly worth it if we do it correctly. Last gift I want to show you before we finish. This is something very cool that I'm pretty sure a lot of Java users are not really aware of. Honestly, I just learned about it, I think, a year ago, something like that. Tal, let me share. So I don't know if you know that, but Java, it's a very powerful tool. And one of the things I like on Java, it's the availability to do everything you want. Okay, so even Java make a pod over here, engagement pod. It's called social exchange, and you can see the Twitter over here. Basically, what this means is you can actually add your accounts to give some likes to people. Okay, for example, this one, I can give about 100 likes a day to users. Okay, and the good part over here, as much as I sorry, I'm going to get. So for example, I can also add my own profile over here, and then I can get likes. So it's pretty cool to use that. It's how you can actually increase the amount of likes you're going to get. It's not mostly your target audience, of course, but it can help you to get more real likes from real users. You can just turn it on after you add your accounts over here, and it will also going to work. So this is
Don't you
also
think
one of the
that
solutions.
it deserves its own live for this part?
What?
I think it's like also deserve its own live, the like exchange.
Yeah, definitely. I just want to give him like a small teaser. Of course, it's just like a small. We can going to show you a lot of that, and it's like this is like a small bonus for people using Java. Didn't know about it, so we're going to make a full live about the social exchange and the like exchange for all the social platforms. And that's it. Any questions before we finish? It's quite live. Tal, I think I spoke too much,
I
so they
think
have like nothing to say.
no, there was a lot of traffic actually in this live, and also I think that one of our live should be how to get easy likes and followers, not real ones, but also how to get them really easily. It can be really beneficial for brands, especially if they want to look good.
Yes, I agree. I agree with you, Tal. So, guys, I think we'll see you on the next live. Tal, the next live going to be about the posting and the scale. That is a
Yeah.
question for you.
So again, our next live is going to be
Wait,
about
wait.
how.
Tal,
Okay.
there is a question for you. How
How
about the
about the
proxy
proxy?
limits with Twitter?
Again, like most platform is, if we don't say otherwise, it will be 10 accounts. Again, there are some platforms that you can even do more. And if you're not using Jarvis, for example, and if you're doing correct, you can even put like more accounts, but it depends a lot of you. So if you're just starting, put 10 max. If you're going to go really safe, put 5. And if you want to go a little bit risk and do some tests and you want to learn a little bit, you can do like something called night mode and rotation. Then you can put even 20 or 30. But again, it requires a lot of knowledge. It's not a lot of knowledge, but it requires the knowledge how to sync it right. For example, you can put half of the account on sleeping mode 12 hours and another in working on the other 12 hours, and then you can rotate the proxy in the middle, and then you can run 20, and you can do it again, like split it between more night modes if you're doing it correctly. Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly.
Thank you, Tal. Thank you, Charles.
Again, our
Yeah.
next live is going to be about it's going to be to everyone is doing marketing, how to post and repost schedule and how to schedule a post on all cross platforms. You mean like, for example, how to take a post from Instagram from someone else or from your own, and how to schedule it like ahead a month or in 2 months to put it on autopilot, like at the first on the 1st of January, and how to schedule post for the whole year in one time. So this is what we're going to talk about next time. If you're using content right and you're getting the right content to the right audience, you can actually doing nothing on automation and get growth. But again, if you want to do it easily, schedule it with us through Jarvin on our next live.
Awesome. So see you guys next Thursday, same hour, same place. We'll wait for you. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any more questions, so feel free to post about it. And good luck with your Twitter growth. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.